not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. We're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. They say that I'm reckless because I'm relentless. They spit on my face.
Let's get our compadres in, make sure that they're all good. Ken, Chris, are you here? Can you hear us?
We're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
All right, welcome to the Kick-Ass Gamer Show.
Woohoo!
That's our new name. So first time using it. Today, it's a special episode where I'm not playing. And it's going to be our special friend. His name is Meddadog. I don't know. That's not his real name, though. But that's what we're going to call him. That's his gamer name, his fake name. And he's doing Super Metroid for us, and you guys get a chance to see what a speedrun actually entails. So why don't you introduce yourself to us, my friend?
Hey, so I'm Meddadog1. I've been speedrunning for 7-8-ish months, Super Metroid, and did Mario Maker for like a couple months prior to that before a break. Sitting at a 5401, which is evil and horrible and the worst thing right now after losing 3 -20s or better in the last 2 weeks.
So for the people who don't understand what that means,
Yes.
why don't you explain the basics of speed running?
Alright, so speedrunning in a simple form is you get the fastest time humanly possible in a game, at least if you're doing any percent, which is get the fastest time, usually without glitches. There's like 100%, so you get everything in a game, but I run any percent in Super Metroid. If you look up to the left of me, and I'll resize it real quick so you guys can see it, those are the splits, which basically shows how well I'm doing for each chunk of this game that I'm running. So, like the first one I stop, it's called Bomb Chalupa. It's Bomb Chorizo, that's what I call it. Anyways, it's Bomb Chalupa. And 5 minutes, 12 seconds is, for my best time, my current PB, the fastest I've ever raced it, is 5 minutes, 12 at that split, 7:19 at Super Pow. So each of those will show you if I'm ahead or behind of where my last best run was. If you look below it, you see sum of best. That's if I did every segment as fast as I've ever done it, that's the time I would have. And then the total possible time save shows how much time left based on my best splits is left in the run. So obviously there's 2 minutes 12 difference between my personal best time and my sum of best time, since we're right at the start of the run.
Right, got it. And so here's a community that actually follows this, right?
Yes, speedrunning community is huge. I have a tiny bit. We've got I4 Matthew, Death by Gaming. Both are from my community personally, and they're chilling out in chat over there.
What's up, guys?
They've come to see this fiasco of me running on a game show. But yeah, the community is huge for speedrunning. I mean, there's awesome games done quick, which I'm not competing in, but I'm going to. It's a whole week in late June. So,
yeah, and tell us what that is. I've seen it before on YouTube.
Big charity event where people donate while people run different games, speedrun different games, anything from Mario to Dark Souls to random obscure stuff. And the lives are done live, televised over Twitch, and then there's live donations. I think they raised a couple $1 million last year for charity. I forget which charity it was offhand. But it's a pretty cool event. It's just gotten bigger and bigger every year. There's awesome games done quick, which is like in the winter, and summer games done quick, which is in the summer. It's the one I'm showing up at, so I'll be wandering around.
Wandering around, creeping on everybody, bumping into people at the good spots so that they accidentally mess up.
No, the speedrunning community, believe it or not, like most people don't care if their time gets bopped. Which is kind of unique. Like most competitive sports and esports, it's all about I have to be the best. I'm going to be the best. If anybody beats me, I'm upset. Speedrunning community, most people just want to see the total time for the game go down. It's a very uniquely supportive community.
That's cool.
Yeah, awesome. And that sounds cool. So your ambitions are to be the best. And what is the best? What would you say? who's the best out there?
Well,
Like-
43 something I think is by Zoster Oats. I forget offhand who's at the top.
It's
I'm not
Zost.
even close. And it's 43 something. I'm not even close. Like, I don't even concern myself with that. I'm just gonna do the best I can.
Yeah, and we're talking about like just seconds.
Yes.
Just seconds in the game makes such a huge difference.
Oh yeah, every last little second counts. I mean, my last run that I finished was a 54:03. I was legitimately 3 seconds off of a personal best.
Yeah, and I've seen this guy on his channel speedrunning and going completely bonkers over just like the slightest things. You know, and it's amazing. It's really like, it really is a powerful thing. Like I see him, like he'll beat his time by like 2 seconds or something and just start spamming. He's like, yeah, everybody gets steak dinner tonight. Yeah. You know, so that's what's really cool about it. I like it. It's a lot of energy, and it takes a really particular set of skills to do this. You know?
Yeah.
You can't just pick up the controller and do it. And trust me, I've tried.
Oh
You guys
yeah,
know how good I
exactly.
am. You guys know how good of a
Oh
game.
yes, I'm sure.
Yep. Everybody remember Chris Quarters? He's sitting below me. Chris, say what's up.
What up?
Yep. And then we have the guys from Retro Squad. Are you guys with us?
We're
Yep.
here.
Down in the corner, in the other corner.
My
You
best
guys
time
are being extra quiet today.
3 weeks.
Time to wake it up. I was sick today all day. I still am. So if you see me duck off, blowing my nose or something, you know, don't mind me. So you guys got to make up for it by
Oh yeah, right on.
Sounds
We'll
good.
do it.
bring the energy. So on that note, what do you say we get this thing started?
All right. So as you'll see, this is where the speed run will start. As soon as I hit go on this, I'll start the splits. You'll see start to count up, and we'll launch into series.
Awesome. And so I know that like different parts of the games have different names, like
Yep.
the different rooms. So as you get to them, why don't you let us know about them and let
This
us
is
know.
series
like, what they're
station, aka when you escape, every friggin' pile of steam is hell. You'll see on the escape, steam is the one thing that kills the absolute most time, and it's pure RNG based.
called. And what's RNG, guys?
Random number generation is what it stands for, but it's basically when something in the game is randomized.
So we're talking about nerdy programming shit. That's
Yeah.
what
I
we're
like to
talking
call
about.
it random number god. Gives
Yeah.
it that.
RNGesus.
Yeah.
Does anybody in here, Chris, have you ever played Metroid? Chris Quarters?
Yeah, I played it for Game Boy. So
Oh,
that-
the worst one.
Fusion's pretty good. It's just very linear, and Zero Mission is considered
Oh,
by
no,
most to
yeah.
be the best iteration of the first Metroid.
I met Samus. He's never played those, I don't think.
Oh,
I think he's
Samus
talking about-
Returns?
Yeah, Game
Oh,
Boy.
the original. Oh, yeah.
Real Game Boy.
I actually owned that game. I think I played 10 minutes of it and I quit.
Because it's awful, right?
It's not the best.
yeah,
Right.
it takes some time to get into it.
Yeah. But I mean,
But-
they're working within the limitations of their hardware, so you can't expect
Right.
too much.
Well, that's
Yeah.
just I didn't have a Nintendo at home. I had the Sega, and then the Nintendo.
You were a
that-
Sega family.
Yeah, well, I had divorced parents, and so one house had Nintendo, one house had Sega.
So you were living the dream then, is what you're saying.
You didn't have to go to a friend's house for that. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I had to go there for my dad's house for the Nintendo, and I only saw him in the summer. So
Oh, all right.
yeah.
Yeah, we were Nintendo up until PlayStation, then we were PlayStation from then on out. So a lot of the games I still need that have in the backlog that I still need to catch up. I mean, I've never actually played Super Mario 64.
Wow.
You know, everyone says that that's such a great game. I didn't find it that good. I was still loving Mario World. Super Mario World was the best.
Oh,
And
Super Mario World's good.
I-
Especially
It's,
ROM hacks now. Some of the Kaizo ROM hacks that are out are pretty awesome.
This sounds like an episode coming up.
I mean, I'll fail at some Mario Kaizo if you want. I'm not great by far, but I can save state my way through most shit.
Man. I want to see the guys who hate the games playing the games.
yeah, that's what you want to see.
That's what you want to see. Yes.
5,
Yep.
6. All right, so this is a fall. You just basically count to 6 and move out of the way. This is pit room, which I'm not warmed up enough to not fall in these darn pits. And the pit of shame is that last one if you fall in that one.
So that is the room that you killed Mother Brain in the first Metroid, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So if anybody doesn't understand what the story is to this game, basically you are a woman named Samus Aran, and you hunt space pirates, and the leader is arguably Ridley or Mother Brain. Which one is it?
The leader is Mother Brain, technically.
Because in all the other games, it's Ridley.
Yeah, he's like the main space pirate, but she's the last boss. She kind of like controls things. So both. She was originally like an artificial intelligence.
Right, and that's from Metroid Prime 3.
I think so. I just watched some videos on those. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's how it was. That's how you sort of figure out what's going on. But yeah, I mean, I played this game back when it was the Nintendo days, and not this one, the original one.
Yeah.
And I was not very good at it, but I remember like taking a piece of paper and drawing out the maps as we went, and like oh, here's the morph ball. Draw a little dot with the note like morph ball.
Yeah, but that was what Nintendo Power was for.
Well, I had to
Yeah.
play with a friend.
Well, I
had the
was poor and didn't.
player's
I
guide.
couldn't get them all.
Everything.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually didn't have pencils. He was so poor. He had to actually write it out in his own blood.
Yeah.
It made the game a lot more intense.
Yeah.
We didn't even have crayons. We had those one things. What are they called? It's not crayons.
Rose art.
No,
It's-
payans or
black
something. I
Yeah.
don't know what the heck they're called. So he's just sitting here dodging these.
Failing at that climb jump there. Oh,
man,
my
he's
god.
getting nervous, making him nervous.
No,
I know.
this is just what happens when I'm not warmed up.
I don't want to ask him questions or anything while he's
Oh,
playing.
go ahead and ask me. I'm
Yeah,
used
ask
to
him
interacting with
questions.
chat. This
How-
is.
What's the square root of?
Yeah, right. If Samus is going in direction A, no. So how? I don't know if I missed it if you said it previously, but so what made you do Super Metroid? What made you get into Super
Alright.
Metroid?
So that's a whole long story. So what actually happened is originally I streamed Mario Maker and I kind of got burnt out by it for a bunch of various reasons. So I stopped streaming. But I was still kind of like interested in seeing. I was watching stuff on YouTube. Then I ended up watching some random speedrun stuff from an SGDQ. Saw Super Metroid because I love Super Metroid as a kid. It was my favorite one. So I started watching that, and but anyways, so after that I ended up watching Topsy Turf and really liking it. Right around that time, once I've been watching for a couple of months, is when the SNES Mini came out, and all my capture shit was HDMI, so I couldn't get a Super Nintendo to hook it up. I had to like redo my whole rig.
Right.
But I was at a GameStop and they just happened to have one in like right when it first came out behind the counter. So I just like, hey, throw that on. I'll buy that, and started learning from there. And I mean, the rest is history. I've been at it for 8 months and horribly messing up everything here. Don't let that minus 1.6. Don't let that fool you. My PB had a horrible early game.
Now let me ask you a couple questions here,
Yes.
because I know that there's a lot of people who take these things very seriously,
Yes.
which is cool, and I get it. Let's give us an example of like how serious you've taken this. Like, for example, has your wife ever been like, it's me or the game, and then you're like, must go on, or something like, give us an example of like how serious you've gotten.
I mean, I'm usually not as serious about the game. I'm more serious about the streaming aspect of it. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy running the game and getting that sense of progression. But the real joy is all the people that come in and chill with me and chat. So that's where I'm more serious, and that's where I put stuff off. Like, hey, you're studying for the bar. Go study for the bar a little bit longer in the bedroom. I'll be in a couple hours. Like,
Yeah. So it's safe to say that you've had that thing happen where you're ending the stream and you're like, all right guys, it's time for me to get out of here, this and that, and then all of a sudden you either get a raid or you get a bunch of other new viewers in, and you're like,
oh yeah, that extends it in a second.
and you're like, I guess I'm not going to bed for another 2 hours.
Yeah. That's how I end up dying at work the next day.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's midnight? Well, the show must go on.
I know.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
I leave for work in 5 minutes. Oh, who just followed me? Who cares about work? What's up, guy?
Now, Meta, have you ever done a 24-hour stream?
I have not. I've done a 12-hour stream, though, back when I was doing Mario Maker. And that was challenging enough as it was. My real life just doesn't really allow for 24-hour streams. So most time I work a 9 to, well, not a 9 to 5, but a 7 to 4 Monday through Friday. So
Now, wasn't there an article that was out that said some guy did like some marathon gaming and died?
Yes, I
Yeah.
don't think that was speedrunning though.
No,
No,
but it was the same
Yeah,
thing.
I think it was
marathon
somebody
gaming.
playing something on Xbox. I forget what though.
They found him dead in like a lounge chair or something.
Yeah.
Coffee shop, yeah.
I died doing what I love.
Well, yeah. If you're gonna go, you gotta go. You know.
Rigor mortis set in.
So yeah, this is just about the worst example of speedrunning this game right now.
Oh, you're doing awesome.
So I missed.
It took me 2 weeks to get to where you are right now.
Yeah, I'm still back in the pit of shame. So
That was the thing with these games. Like I was always like, I don't know where to go, and then it gets to a point where it's like it's not fun, and then I don't want to use anything to find out, but then I end
They
up
gave you
doing it
the map.
anyway.
They gave
Yeah,
you
there
the
is a map. The Super Metroid is not nearly as bad as the original Metroid in terms of
The
that.
original was
And
crazy.
it does a good job of funneling you where you're supposed to go. I mean, we break a couple of things. The way an 8% category runs, especially the new route. I'm running the old route because the new route's got some crazy stuff I don't feel like learning. But there's definitely some breaks that we do. But for the most part, Super Metroid does a great job of funneling you where you're supposed to go. You're not supposed to be there? Well, you're probably taking a shit ton of damage through fire.
yeah, that's cool. When I played the first one, I mean, it was so hard, and I gave up until I found out about Justin Bailey. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody watching, somebody in the chat's got to know what
Somebody.
Justin Bailey is. Let's see. Before I tell you what it is, before you guys look it up, let's see. Anybody in the chat know what Justin Bailey is in the first Metroid? So come on, guys. Say what it is. Let's see what it is. Death by Gaming for the win. Let me see. Tell us what's Justin Bailey. Come on. Don't let me down, guys. Or maybe he was just saying yes about ready for the expo.
He might be.
Nope, everybody said no. Okay, well, if you enter the code Justin Bailey on the password screen, it gave you almost all of the weapons and let you play as Samus without the suit on. So you were just, yes, half naked. Yeah, there you go. And
All
so
right.
that's when you find out that Samus is actually a woman and not a guy.
Alright, so this is one of those big tricks that hopefully I won't mess up. Which is
This is
Craig
the
quick
quick
kill.
kill.
Yep. Which I very rarely mess up when I'm running, but I mean, well, of course, when I'm here, it's gonna happen. 1, 2. Nope. Got it. So, otherwise it takes ridiculously long to kill Kraid. So, that saves a ton of time right there, and if you miss it, you're probably out 15 seconds.
Good job.
Thanks.
Looks like our Retro Squat guys' internet just
Oh, they just
dropped
died
for a
out.
second. They'll be back.
That's weird.
Bum,
Yeah,
bum.
back down.
Alright. Yeah, that broke out. So, continuing on through here, we got Mini Cray. This is all pretty standard. I mean, you can lose time here, but most of the time loss is seconds rather than big chunks. But also, for anybody that would actually run this game, a lot of the tricks you don't need to learn. There's a lot of little safe strats you can put in. A lot of stuff that I used to put in that I took out now that makes it a lot easier just to finish a run. Because I found that if you're trying to run, don't try and incorporate everything. Don't try and get the best possible time before you start running by practicing everything. Because in my opinion, you'll burn yourself out. In all honesty, just start running. As soon as you can complete a run, that's when you should start running.
Yeah, and that's awesome. I know I would probably be at the save point about like 70
Oh,
80
shit.
times.
I just Kojak the fuck out of that missile. Not entirely sure how I shot 2 of those, which makes the rest of the run a little bit sketchier.
And so somebody who's not speedrunning, how long do you think that it takes them to beat this game?
I think I heard like 5 to 6 hours was pretty standard for
Yeah.
a casual playthrough for not trying to complete everything.
Yeah. It's taking
I
me
know
days.
the bottom of the speedrun charts is sitting around like, I think there's a couple 3 hours in there for like the very bottom of the speedrun leaderboard. 130, yeah, 130 for a new runner. The bottom is sitting at 3, but yeah, entry level for a speedrunner is 130, but casual probably 5-6 hours. I don't know how long it took me as a kid. That was way too long ago.
Right.
That's so funny. Oh my god! And you can go into the store right now and buy a copy of Super Metroid for like $60 to $70.
Oh,
because
it's
such a
expensive.
Yeah. What do most of the speedrunners do? They use the actual copies of the game or emulators or what?
A lot of the
NES
people
minis?
starting out will start out with emulators. The SNES Mini is a newish edition, so there's a lot of people swapping to that from emulator because it's cheaper and it's easy to do input captures. But almost all like the top runners do original hardware with usually a couple of mods to the Super Nintendo itself.
Yeah. What about tell us about TAS.
That is where somebody takes a program and basically goes frame by frame and tells it every input and creates the theoretically best possible run that anybody could ever run. And then it just plays out. So it's a cool intellectual exercise, at least. Oh, we'll take that. We'll take that in a second.
Oh man.
Like the thing to ghost run against.
Most people don't even look at it like that. Most people are going against just their best times. It's just a cool theory craft sort of thing.
Gotcha.
I mean, unless you're talking like Super Mario ones, because Super Mario can be tasked so crazily that it actually is programmed to do other games because of the way it reads the cards.
Yeah, I've seen them do that for the original Super Mario in the World 4 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they were trying. I've seen where they have this thing in the game, and if anybody's familiar with that level, you're in the cave underground, and then you run and jump over a couple things, and then right out the gates, there's a vine that takes you up to the warp zone. But they have this really complicated trick where you have to get something about the X coordinates or something about where he is in the game programming just right so that he can jump down into the warp or into a pipe instead of go up the vine and it takes you to the warp zone or whatever. But I mean, it's like these are things that a normal person who would never even think about this would ever be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
And it's amazing like how far somebody has to go into the game and deep dive into the programming or coding and break it down just to figure these things out. It also makes you wonder like how many of these things are still out there that nobody knows about.
Oh yes, stuff's changing all the time in speedruns and what the minimum you have to do is, and new skips and glitches happen all the time.
We got Canon Chris coming back in. Here we go.
Let me tell you,
Are you guys with us?
we're here.
All right.
We're here.
Yeah.
We're not going anywhere.
We need to hear some game facts.
Yeah, you're gonna get some game facts.
Game fact number 1: never trust your ISP.
Boom. Write
Oh.
that down, kids.
I got a new router modem today, and the router just stopped working just now.
That's unfortunate.
Not much for Wi-Fi, so we
Yep.
had to wire it up. Sorry about that, everybody.
All right.
Ridiculous, right?
So,
Wi-Fi, the great evil of our generation.
I'm hardwiring everything.
I've gone through multiple routers. I'm sitting with a Nighthawk now, and I'm in like a 700 square foot apartment, and I still have a few issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I have it has trouble traveling through some walls, so.
So I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
Alright, well, real quick, this is one of my favorite strats if I actually pull it off. I call it Swag Spark. It's actually called Alpha Spark. It's actually kind of sketchy to do because it really cuts your health a little short when you're heading up the Fantoon. But it's a short charge. It's a short charge spark across the water. And as long as I don't mess up the middle here, it's actually it's a pretty cool strat here. Yep, like that. So you just Swag Spark all the way across that, all the way across this room, all the way over. Only saves you, I think, like 3 or 4 seconds, but I particularly like it.
Yeah, and that's awesome because if you just miss it by a hair,
Oh yeah.
Is this not on?
The set once you've gotten onto that platform and killed that green pufferfish thing in decent enough time, you're pretty much set. But that setup is jank sometimes. And hero shot right up through there. Much more difficult than it actually looks.
Yeah, I like that. You just jump to take damage, and it launches you across the.
Yep, damage boost is an essential part. I burned a little bit of time there, doing a little bit safer strats since we're live here and doing the podcast instead. So I'm doing a few strats that I'd normally just be like, oh, whatever. If I miss it, I'll reset.
So tell us about the name Meddadog. What is this?
All right, so Meddadog was my name for very far back, basically since Halo 1 came out. So I wanted something good. It actually started as Meddadog 42, and I wanted a good name for my tag for Halo. Started off with a couple of different ones, and that one is actually a name from Mech Warrior for the Sega Saturn. It's one of the mechs from way back then, and it's kind of stuck with me since then through online games. I mean, it obviously made it into Twitch. It's just what everybody knows me as Meta for forever now.
That's funny. So is that your AOL Instant Messenger name too?
I have no idea. That's so long ago. Back before everybody was worried about child predators, and I had to hook up to dial-up internet on a laptop in my bedroom. I mean,
Yeah. How that would get so loud at night when you were trying to get on.
my laptop didn't even take like a phone cord. I had an adapter card that plugged into a 4-prong that then went off to the phone jack. That's how old my laptop was.
Yeah.
Windows 3.0.
Oh man. When we got Windows, we went to Windows 98 from 95 was like groundbreaking. I couldn't believe it. I was just
Still the
so,
best Windows, in my opinion.
yeah, XP was the best.
You
That's why I
guys,
like Mac.
is Retro still on?
Yeah.
We are. Yeah, there's no internet, so we're wired here, so we're trying to hotspot everything, right?
You're still setting stuff up. All right. I want to make sure you didn't drop again.
No,
No,
we're
we're
here.
here.
We're listening. We're.
Listening in.
Yeah.
So Chris, Retro Chris,
Yes.
let's talk about something here, man. It's called Infinity War.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You want to give me some words?
Okay,
I have all the spoilers.
Who hasn't seen it in this room, right? In this show, who has not seen Infinity War yet?
Okay, so we've all seen it.
Everybody, Chris, you seen it? Chris Quarters,
Yeah.
you did?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome! You didn't tell me, dude.
Oh, I've seen
Yeah,
it.
that nice
All
little-
right, X Factor.
That sounds like a lie.
Sorry.
I don't believe him. But okay. Well, he's fighting Phantom.
Yeah, this is actually a decent
It is.
Fantoon fight. I got my X Factors, which I do a really janky X Factor strat, but whatever, it works decent enough for me.
So
Alright.
he's like a pivot point in the speed run, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he is. He can definitely fuck your speedrun if you don't get that first X Factor. Because you go from a 2-round to a 3 or 4-round, especially with the way I'm doing it, and with how I only came with one power bomb. If I had messed that up, it was probably a 4-round easy, because I didn't have
It
the
looks
backup.
like you did really good, so good job.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good. I probably saved a decent bit of time there. Attic Spark is pretty swag too.
Awesome.
So Attic Spark's coming up, and it looks even more awesome than it is.
So Chris, let me tell you about my experience with the Infinity War, okay?
I want to hear this.
Yes, here we go. So everybody who's seen the movie can relate a little bit to this. So basically, I'm a huge Marvel fan. Like, I'm wearing my Captain America shirt.
We couldn't
Actually, I
tell.
went to the store and bought this shirt just so I could wear it to the
Right. I know,
movies.
you got the onesies with the feeties. All right, we know.
All of it. Yep. Down to
Right.
the socks. You know, my Spidey socks.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. And I made my wife buy the tickets for us to go Thursday, like the very first showing on Thursday.
Yeah,
And I'm like, we need to get there.
I heard that.
Yep. I'm like, we need to get there 2 hours early. So we go in. I'm like,
Playing
I'm
that on
so
UMass.
pumped up about this. I'm not even like worried about like going to the right theater because we went to the wrong one. We're in the nice one with the recliners sitting there. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude. We go up to the middle seats and I'm chilling all by myself and she's sitting next to me and nobody was in there. The movie started at 6 and it's like 5 till and I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Oh no.
this was sold out. Like, everybody should be in here. And some crazy kid like comes into the theater and then he comes up the aisle and he's walking up and he's counting rows like, and then remember there's nobody else in the theater and he looks
Yeah.
down my row, starts coming, he's looking down and counting seats like, and then sits right next to me. And the whole theater was like empty and this dude sits right next to me, and I'm just thinking like, what is
He
going
was
on
lonely.
with
He
this?
wanted to experience the wonder of the movie with you.
Yeah, and I'm like, is this like the best seat in the house or something? He's like, oh yeah, this is for optimal viewing. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what time does this movie start? He's like, 7. Like 7? It's supposed to start at 6. So he's like, oh yeah, down to the other side. I'm like, so we go run down there and we go watch it. Now listen, I have anxiety issues. Yeah, and I've had panic attacks. Like I don't always, and it only started recently when just things got real hectic at some point in my life. But you know, I get them, and I get high anxiety. And this movie like made me go bonkers. Like my Apple Watch was just going crazy, like boop, 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 telling me, hey, you're sitting, yeah, your heart's gonna explode, so chillax. You know, I'm like, but I mean, the movie was intense, right? I leave there, I see my watch, it went off 4 times during the movie, telling me it was like over 120 resting heart rate. So I didn't think nothing of it until the next day. My chest was so sore, right?
Was it really?
Yes, I'm recovering. I'm like, I felt like I had a heart attack and I should be like laying down. I'm at work. I'm
Holy
like, oh.
crap! I didn't even consider that could happen if you know what I'm saying, like when your heart
Yeah.
rate something like that. Like,
Yeah, I felt like I got like stabbed in the chest repeatedly. So the bad part was that I told my kids that I would take them that next day, Friday, and I already bought their tickets.
Right. Yeah.
The whole day at work, the anxiety is getting to me. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, because see what happened before was when The Force Awakens came out, we went to see it, and going into there, I already had anxiety. So at the part where, spoiler alert, Han Solo gets killed,
Yeah.
we had to leave so I could go to the hospital.
No.
Yeah, yes. So I'm like, oh God, I didn't have my kids or nothing. Now going into this movie the second time, that's all I could think about was that.
I mean, you saw it already, right? So you weren't even a little bit like, oh, okay, well, at least I know what's coming.
Right, and that's what I thought. And so like the last part of the movie, the last like half hour of the movie, and not spoiling or anything, but you know how intense it is?
Yeah.
And I knew, I'm like, oh, this is what's gonna happen. Dude, my heart was going so hard, things were getting blurry.
Oh,
I had to like close my eyes and cover my ears, and I'm focusing on other things. I couldn't believe it. And all I could think about was, I'm about to like die in the movie theater with my kids watching the Avengers. And it's gonna be like all over the internet, like this like I'm gonna be a poster child that they're gonna use to market. The movie's so intense, people die.
People die from watching.
People die seeing this movie.
God, man.
Yeah, and I was gonna be that
Like,
guy.
that's the nine, you gotta start watching your health.
You know, that's how you want to go. I mean, I either want to have a controller in my hand, you know,
See Avengers or eating a steak.
or eating a
Yeah.
steak. Yeah.
And leaving there, eating a whole pizza by yourself. Like,
Yeah.
oh, only way to help my heart.
Oh, but what pizza would it be? Oh man, see that's the thing.
Pineapple pizza.
Such a great movie.
Just stop.
I'd be so pissed though if I died at the end of that movie.
Right? Like, come on. Even if you already saw it once, you'd be like, wait, what? But how's it gonna end now?
Well, see, I thought it was gonna be one of those things where I eat my own words, because the whole time leading up to it, I kept telling my wife, I'm like, after I see this movie, I can die. You know how they say that? Like, I have these, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, God, I didn't really mean it. Going on, you know?
But they already, you knew this was gonna be a 2-part movie, so
Yeah.
Man,
maybe-
what are you gonna do next year? Oh no.
Well, see, I'm not really as pumped for the next part as I was for this part, because I was afraid of how they were gonna do it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know if they were going to make it like legit, or if they were going to like screw it up like they do with all the X-Men movies. And you know, I don't know if you've seen XMen Apocalypse.
See,
But-
but please, I don't want to talk about that. That's a travesty.
It was. And
Oh.
Apocalypse, like I have behind me, there's a display case full of all my geek stuff.
Yeah.
And in the top center is my Apocalypse display, because he's my favorite character in all of
Oh.
Marvel. Yeah,
I'm
besides
so
Spider-Man.
sorry. I'm so sorry they did that to you.
Yes. And and then I looked at Thanos, and I'm thinking, like, if they CG this guy so well, why didn't they do that with Apocalypse? And the
How
worst
about why
part
they
is,
did it with everybody, with everything ever.
yeah. And the worst part is, like, now Disney has control of it. They can do it right, but they have to put some time in between it.
Yeah.
So
I
I'll
don't
probably
know.
be dead from Avengers 2 before I see that.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know what they're coming out with next year, before they come out with the next Avengers, is the Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be sweet.
I'm looking forward to that one. I think that's gonna be good.
They you know, they have me because it's whatever. At least they'll sell one ticket.
So yeah.
All their movies are good.
Oh, probably everyone here. So there's what, 6 of us here, 4 or
Like,
5 of us.
When Ragnarok came out, I was like, I don't need to see that in the theater. I'll be all right. I don't need to see that.
Everybody has smartphones in this group, right? Do you guys ever? Does anybody else play Future Fight?
Oh, is that a card game?
No, it's a app. It's a Marvel.
Forget it. No.
Oh, that one? No.
I'm
I
thinking of
haven't
something
played
else.
that one.
Oh,
I saw an ad for it on YouTube.
it's addicting.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is
it's
it
a lot of
a pay to win, or is it has good
fun. No,
progression?
it's like a time thing. Like you build your characters up over time. I mean, you can, like some of my friends spend money on the game. Like all games, you can have in-app purchases, but I don't do that.
Hey Meta,
Yes.
I was looking at some of the information about this game on here on the website, and I noticed while you're at that part how you don't really use the grappling hook.
Oh,
you know,
yes.
in speedrunning it probably slowed you down.
Speedrunning is way out of your way to even try and grab a grappling hook in any percent.
Okay, because it was funny because I seen this nice little piece of info about the backstory of the grappling hook that I thought I might share with you.
All right.
So apparently, the idea behind the grappling hook was that the guys who created the game, while they were working on another project before this in their office, they used to have those claw grip toys. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? That you'd use to like reach things far away. You squeeze it,
Yeah.
and the claw closes. And they used to like battle each other with those in the office. And they used to like go by and like pinch each other and stuff. And so they were like, what can we put this into? Like, what kind of game can we put this into? And then somebody, you know, later on brought it up for Metroid sequel. Like, why don't we make this an item? And they came up with the grappling hook. So grabbing ass with this little toy is how they came up with the grappling hook for Super Metroid.
Oh my lord, this is
I don't
the
know,
worst.
Chris. I think Chris wants to call you out on bullshit with that one.
No. I mean, I thought I heard something like that.
Yeah. What do you think, Ken? Does that sound legit?
I don't know if that sounds legit. I always thought it was just from Bionic Commando.
Well, yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you got? You got anything? You guys have been so quiet. Let's hear some.
Ow! And see,
some
there's
action.
the rip on run. On
Oh
cam.
no!
From a horrible drag. From
This
a horrible
can't be.
drag on.
This can't be. So what happens here?
Normally
Can
you
you still
reset.
finish the game? It's over?
I mean, I don't have a save. I'd have to start from the beginning.
Oh my gosh. Do you have a save point where you can
I
pull up?
have a save point where I can kill off the splits. Yeah.
Here we go. All right, so that's how you don't complete a speed run.
Yes, that is exactly how. That's what happens when you don't warm up your Dragon.
Oh man.
Well, you know, it's actually a pretty good time.
Yeah, you've been doing really good up to that point.
Yeah.
You gotta remember to warm it up.
Going at it cold, no good, right?
No.
Yeah, cold and dry, not a good combination.
And so the way that you're fighting this guy is by throwing your body at him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. And why are you doing this?
Because it's a lot more damage than missiles, and it's a lot faster. As long as you don't mess it up like I've been doing horribly, because apparently I can't Dragon right now.
So I think that like they have to create a backstory of how the rivalry between Samus and
Oh my lord.
the space pirates came to be.
Yeah,
You know?
so apparently I just can't Dragon.
And I'm thinking like maybe they were like buddies or roommates, and one of them told her to get them a sandwich.
I think that's exactly what happened.
Is that a bad joke? And that's our bad joke segment. Ba-da-da-da.
Good job.
All right,
What-
so we're
what's the
gonna
rate?
actually show how this is supposed to go right here.
Oh man.
We're gonna show how this is supposed to go because this. Oh god, there's not much worse failing than that just happened.
Huh.
This is where the anxiety kicks in.
This is where I haven't had enough to drink for this shit.
Oh my gosh.
Is it better when you've had a few drinks?
Oh yes, ask anybody here. Once I'm a little bit in, oh everything gets way better. All my PBs.
You got
Still
you're
messing
more
up.
nimble and. So the
Exactly.
speedrun community, this is cool. I've never took a deep dive into the community. I've met a few Twitch streamers who do speedruns, but I never I could never do speedrun myself. You know what it was? It was the commitment.
There we go.
It was, I can't play the same game like over and over and over. Like I used to watch a Twitch streamer who would do what's the one with the little guy Binding
All
of
of
Isaac.
them.
And
Binding
just so
of
you know, the reason why he's blue right now, this is actually another speedrun trick.
Yes.
What is it,
so
Meta?
if you run into him without holding run with a spark and kill him, you retain that. You get a blue suit, which basically retains that spark, so you're charged and you can use it anywhere. And we're actually about to use it to fly across this entire room here to save a pretty decent chunk of time. So I'll come up here, and this is a very precise. You only have a few pixels in either direction, so watch me bang off of it. Nope. So that, instead of having to fly all the way across that room, you just spark right across.
And when you talk about it, it doesn't sound that hard at all.
Yeah.
He's gotta shoot him with the spark, hold the controller upside down, sing the alphabet backwards like 7 times.
That's only when I'm really drunk.
Yeah. Take 3 shots of vodka.
I am actually one of only 2 drunk percent runners of Super Metroid. We've made an official category for it. There's
Well,
only
that's
2
awesome.
people with records right now, and I'm at the top, damn it.
I heard a rumor that the speedrunner community is like the best community on the internet.
It definitely might be. Mario Maker's pretty nice as well. I'd give the edge to Super Metroid in terms of streaming, perhaps, because with at least the Mario Maker community, you get a lot of people who are there just to see their levels played. But with Metroid, people are there for you or to see the game progressed. So I definitely agree. It's one of the best communities to be a part of on Twitch.
Yeah, and usually like the worst community. Okay, wait, rewind. A community that's not as nice and awesome would be like the Smash Brothers community.
Why don't you just go straight for CS:GO? The most
Okay.
caustic of all.
Yeah, and it's like night and day because they're not welcoming. And when I first went into the speedrunning, was it Speedrun? Website,
Speedrun.com or
speedrun.com,
Speedruns
yeah.
Live.
And I went to the forum like, hey guys, I'm new to speedrunning. And everybody came in with tutorials like, you'll get there, buddy. You got it, dude. And I'm just like, what? You didn't expect that. You
Yeah.
didn't want them to be like, get your shit together before you come in here.
Well, when I started, I could not for the life of me get Zeb Skip, and after way longer than it should have, I did get some help from people on there to try and figure it out and help me figure out the mechanics that I was missing, because it's not straight inputs. It was understanding what the inputs were for that was causing me problems. So I had them watch a couple of videos, went through that, and eventually I figured out that Zeb Skip took me probably 8 hours to learn. To understand anyways, enough to actually pull it off even once.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You had to to learn Zeb Skip, he had to spend a couple nights doing bedroom skip.
I actually did that all in one day. I spent 8 hours in one day learning that. Just back to back. Got so frustrating.
Yeah.
But I did learn it eventually. And
We're on
once
our
you
honeymoon. I don't
once you
care.
get the hang of some of these tricks, like not even like get the hang, once you understand the thought process behind some of these tricks, it's not nearly as bad because then it's repeatable. But some of these, just getting over that initial hump's pretty hard.
That's a lot. It's like. So is this the only thing that you're playing right now? So like when you get on, obviously when you're getting on the stream, are you streaming just this right now?
I stream this. I do drunk games with another streamer, PGA Mexican, on Wednesdays. In this case, it'll be Thursdays because of today. So that varies from week to week. Sometimes it's drunk percent for Super Metroid. I'm learning Donkey Kong Country. I do Mario hacks here and there. I played some Outlast, and that was absolutely horrible and terrifying. So
Yeah, that was a cool game though.
but yeah, the core is Super Metroid. That's what I stream more than anything else. But I mix other stuff things. I actually do it. I recently went from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. So.
Ooh. I'm sure that went over real well, right?
Oh, I mean, she's studying for the bar, so she's busy.
Get it in now, right?
Exactly.
Get it in now.
Although one of the coolest things that I do and I put on is I have we'll be having our second one actually this Saturday. I call it the Meddadog Invitational, and it's the only handicapped Super Metroid race out there for any percent.
Oh wow.
So everybody actually starts at a different time based on the handicap they're assigned, based on their PBs. So in theory, if everybody runs their best pace, everybody's finishing at about the same time, so it's very tense. I've got all the people up on my stream in separate windows, kind of like what we're doing here. And I'm doing live commentary of every runner all at the same time.
Now, all right, so I'm going to use the word noob. I am a noob at the speedrunning in the lingo. So what are PBs?
Personal best, so the fastest you've run a game.
Okay.
And GLODs, which you're not going to hear today, but GLODs, which you'll hear, is when you get the best time you've ever gotten for that segment of that run.
So these are abbreviations, yeah?
Well, GLOD's not an abbreviation, it's just misspelling gold, which is the color the splits normally turn when you do the best segments.
So it's a word you guys just make up.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, it's just a word. I don't
So
know where it
somebody's
originated,
like,
but...
what do you guys want to call it when you beat it by 2 minutes better than your last time? Call it a gibble. It's making shit up.
No, 2 minutes better, so it'd be a tuba.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Did you do a tuba? Sure did.
They'll just call it a Timmy. Did you do a Timmy?
It's instinct. It's instinct, Maddie. I started my splits there, and because I was just used to splitting for everything. It's just instinct. Like I find myself, if I'm watching somebody else, and like I'm watching from my PC, I'll click my mouse. I'm like, I have to split something. Just watching people hit those split points. But it comes so ingrained in you. But when I started, I was missing splits left and right, like, because it's not natural. But after a while, you're like, you just can't help it. Kind of like I used to be a lifeguard, and for the longest time, whenever I see people running, because I was a lifeguard for 6 years, so I'd be walking down to class in college, and I'd see somebody running, and I'd yell walk at them from across the fucking sidewalk, and just like hang my head in shame and walk in the other direction. Well, somebody, I swear to God.
Oh, wow. So you went from making people go slow to making people go fast.
Yes. Lifeguarding is the worst job in the entire world. I definitely do not recommend ever getting that job.
But yeah, try being a mailman, man.
Oh no, it's worse because at least you're like you're actively doing something. No, it's the boredom. Like what you don't understand is it's sitting there for 8 to 10 hours straight doing nothing. Not allowed to read a book, listen to music, just sit there.
That's
and
true.
it's
All right,
horrible.
Definitely give it to you.
David Hasselhoff made it look cool,
He did though.
and there was never a mailman TV show.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've done door-to-door canvassing for a nonprofit, which basically going door-to-door asking people for money to sign petitions and to write letters to the EPA, and I did that for 2 months, and I'd still rather do that than be a lifeguard again.
Yeah, right? Wow. 6 years on that. Woo.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know. Speedrunning though. Speedrunning's fun.
It is.
Maybe I should try it. No, I'm not gonna try it.
Definitely. I mean, you can get into any game. There are games that are like 15 minutes for their speed runs, so you don't even have to take as long. Like Super Metroid's a medium like length run. I'm just saying, it's always fun to get into because you get that feeling of satisfaction every time you get a PB, even if it's by a second, because you know how much work's gone into it.
Right. Especially when you can break it out into sections like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. You even get GLODs, those little mini splits.
Oh God, crazy! That was crazy.
Good move, right?
Yeah, that was good. That was
Which
a good
one?
Oh
So,
god.
Super Metroid. Nintendo names everything Super, and then they named everything 64, and then they named everything
Random
whatever.
crap.
Right? And all their systems-
Wii, and they had the Wii to everything.
Wii to everything, or
Yeah.
DS to everything. Like
Yeah.
they're weird, right? The title screen says Super Metroid, but in the little opening cinematic it says Metroid 3.
Yes, because there was Metroid 1 for the regular Nintendo, Metroid 2, which was for just the Game Boy, and then this is technically Metroid 3, and they do follow a timeline.
Yeah.
So
I think they should call it Metroid 3.
I don't know. Super Metroid's more iconic, I feel. Metroid 3 just doesn't have the same ring to it. Like Super Mario is known as Super Mario. You rarely hear it referred to as just Mario.
Because Mario was a different game.
With the same characters though.
The
Like,
connotation for that is pretty
Like
good.
Super Mario Odyssey, the Super has stuck with it.
Yeah, I think he's.
What I'm saying is if Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, technically if it came out on the Super NES, it would have been called Super Mario
It
Brothers.
would have to be super.
Right.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's why they called it Super Mario World.
I understand that.
So that was like the exception to the rule.
Big
You just
picture,
don't
I'm
like
just saying
it.
it's just
That's
Yeah.
crazy because Mario's their flagship game, and then it's the only one that didn't
Yeah,
follow
definitely.
the rule.
Right. Yeah.
People in my chat tell me to do safe strats. I'm like, yeah, it's probably for the best. So I cut out this E-Tank a long time ago in my runs, but it's a good tank to have in if you're not as good or if you're just starting out. It fully heals up all of your energy and makes it a lot easier to escape.
Nice. So wait, do you practice when you're not streaming, or is the streaming?
Most people do. I am lazy, and I do not. I am the worst 54 runner in the Super Metroid community. Like, I don't really deserve that 54.
What I'm finding interesting is that you're able to do it. I guess you've been doing it for so long now that it's muscle memory. But the fact that you can hold the conversation while doing it, because if I'm doing something like that, I'm like, no one talk. Shut up. I'm
Oh yeah, I
busy."
mean, I'm looking at your guys' faces on the other screen half the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Retro, Chris, and Ken. What do you think about this all green suit right now? What do you think when he got that?
I just think it was a special moment.
You'd like
Are
to
we
cherish that
recording this?
moment?
Are we- I hope we're recording this. That's what I want to know.
Well, we're recording it, all right.
Yeah, it's great. It's not green though, is it?
I'm confused
Well, you
at
should
this
know.
point. Just saying.
I'm gonna have to. I disagree. Yes.
Circle gets the square.
Yes. Oh god, fake news.
There's that phrase again.
But that jump was awesome. The jump that just happened.
Which one?
That
The jump through the
That
guy
one?
without taking damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that helps a lot there. There's lots of little tiny things like that save a fair bit of time. So, so here I have to farm up some supers. Oh well, I fucked that super up. Come on. There we go. Power bomb. Oh, I'm the most. I'm pretty self-deprecatory if you've ever chilled around.
So Meta, I want to know about your birdies.
Yes. So the one singing is Pip, and he is a cockatiel. They both join me in every stream. I don't know how many of you have actually seen it, but they have their own dedicated webcams every stream.
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching
Oh,
the
yeah?
stream. Yeah, he's
What?
on his regular
I
stream.
getcha.
Yeah.
You named your bird Pimp?
Pip, P-I-P.
Like that.
Like
Yo,
picture-
Pimp.
Yes.
Got your webcam? It's my webcam bird called Pimp.
Isn't that from South Park?
Check out its pecker.
So, and then the other one is named Stitch, which is a green sheet conure. The one you'll always hear most of the time singing is Pip. And then the one who you're screeching his frickin' lungs out for no reason is Stitch.
Oh god.
So wait, there's 2 or 3?
Birds
Two.
and a bird.
2, right?
Pip and Stitch.
Bird's got a bird. Cockatiel, you said, right?
Yeah, one's a
bird's got bird.
cockatiel, one's a green sheet conure.
My parents have got. My family's had cockatiels for 20 years.
They
Used
live
to
forever.
breed them. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. They used to breed them.
Like
They're down to
eggs?
1
did
right
they-
now.
Did they have like
Little
eggs?
baby eggs. Yeah, we used to build boxes for them that you put on the outside of the cage, and and they can walk into it from the inside, and,
Like
and they
visit
lay.
the eggs?
It's to roost. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're cool.
It's like the world's smallest omelet. Not saying not.
Yeah, Stitch does laugh sometimes.
Yay.
And
Is
so
it-
does Pip.
Is
So
this Mother Brain?
no, we're not to Mother Brain at all.
Oh, okay.
Chris.
I never got that far. That's what I'm saying. I never got this far. Ever.
We are on our way down to Mother Brain.
Look, at least Matt's having a good time with this,
Yeah.
right, Matt?
Man, how much have you had to drink? And if you've had it, why didn't you frickin' share?
It's the cough medicine. I'm gonna tell you what's happening here. They lost the Skype feed. They can't see the game screen.
Oh,
So I'm feeding them bad info
oh, that's
on
good.
Discord. So I'm like, tell him that good mother brain battle. He's like, oh, is this mother brain?
Oh my.
So he's gotta fake it. Oh, good stuff.
Never
that's how-
trust math. That's a good general rule here.
Internet. Oh, we're learning. That's what we're learning.
Oh.
Chris,
If you
Uh,
pull up the Twitch, it's only about 5 seconds behind, I think. I have a relatively low latency, so.
yeah,
That's a good.
not bad.
well,
Yeah, it is not bad. It's
I
actually
could-
pretty impressive.
I could set it to 0, but then people with lower bandwidths would have difficulty watching me. I got enough E-tanks to tank Ketchup. So Ketchup is a name for this one beam that Mother Brain does, and it has ended many a run from many a streamer because it does an insane amount of damage. And you can't get below 301 health for Mother Brain, otherwise you just automatically have lost.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Chris Quarters. I think that maybe in a couple weeks, you should give this one a shot on the show. Speedrunning it.
I mean, you're learning now, right? So.
I did a video. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember last week I said I was going to do some videos. And I did a little video of me playing Castlevania 5 on the Super NES.
Super Castlevania 4. They added the 4 and the Super. Whatever. I don't know.
World. Super Castlevania 4 world.
Super
Yeah, world, right.
Or yeah. Anyway, so I got a little video of me playing that because I haven't played that in forever, and I didn't do great, but it was a good 10 minutes of fun.
So I think that like that.
As opposed to what, your normal 60 seconds of fun?
I'm not very good at video
That's what she said.
games that I haven't played.
Well, I mean, it's not fun for her.
I will be there.
Oh man. So I don't know about you guys, but see, Metroid is one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I play all the games other than Other M. And the music for Metroid Prime is my favorite soundtrack. Outside of the Mega Man games.
Dude, I didn't play minus Super Metroid, which obviously I did not play for very long. I didn't play the other ones. I never played.
Prime was good.
Oh, maybe wasn't that on the GameCube?
Yeah.
Oh, you had it.
Yeah.
Oh, so I
Yeah.
did. Okay, I did play it. Yeah, I played it by you then. And that was the last one that I played.
I've never actually played a Prime game.
I don't know.
Oh.
It took
You should
forever.
give it a shot. It's actually really cool. You get
yeah,
what I
thought
like
about
is the
it.
lore you get from it. You get to learn about. I like backstories, so I feel like a lot of these firsts, like for example, the first Metroid was never intended to go as far as it has, so they didn't really give it a lot of backstory, or not like you could on the NES, anyways. But they built it and developed it as the games went on, and what I like is how they try to add more to the old games now. So you can go into like Wikipedia and then, oh, that's what that was about. Even though it wasn't really, they just made it up.
Have you ever heard
I
of
like
Treesicle?
getting that. What is it?
Treesicle? On YouTube?
No.
He does the Story You Never Knew videos, which are really cool, and he injects a lot of lore into these games, and it's
And
really
those-
awesome.
Those are the Metroids, by the way. Anybody watching? The game is named after those monsters.
I'm hearing that's Pip, right? I'm hearing Pip,
Yep.
and we used to have a bird that did that because my parents would play the tapes for them. They have tapes of just whistling that just played over and over.
Yep.
And then I'd be playing Nintendo or Super Nintendo or on the computer and I'd hear that and it's like, shut up.
Yeah, that's his favorite song. He loves to sing the Addams Family thing, and then you probably heard Stitch squeaking back there.
So funny.
So now this is also a really big trick, being able to get past this,
Without getting caught, yeah, it's
Yes.
intense.
because if it catches you, it drains you, right?
Yep.
And it holds you on the screen forever.
Yep, and you have to go and recharge, which I'm gonna do anyways, because I don't think I have enough missiles to make it through
Good job.
properly. So, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I just use that missile anyway. So we're gonna hope we got enough. So, all right.
Yeah, good job on that.
Gonna
I know
make
that's
this
a
real
difficult
risky.
Trick.
Well, I don't know if we can actually finish this run at this point. We're gonna make sure we finish this run. We're gonna load baby skip. I mean, why not? We've already loaded before. I'm not sure I had enough missiles to finish because I wasn't thinking I didn't collect enough.
And so I saw this funny image earlier, and I sent it to the guys, and it was Mother Brain killing the baby Metroid right here. That's a baby. By
And
the way.
there's a skip again.
And the Metroid is dissolving, and it's saying, "No, Miss Aaron, I'm not ready to go." And I thought that was funny, and I don't want to like spoil why it's funny, but does anybody else know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
I don't need the extra tank. What you talking about, Willis?
That was off mic. What happened?
Talking back to the chat. Yeah, I like this is a departure for me. Normally, I'm like the most interactive with my chat of anybody.
Yeah.
I have some crazy new stuff I put in that's kind of cool too. I mean, heck, you can make like Super Metroid death sounds in
So
my
where's
stream.
all the things at?
Well, I'm not in my chat, so I can't put my bot in. is
No,
the
no, no.
problem.
Where's all the little barriers at that you were
Oh,
supposed
so I did the Zepski without even saying anything. So those barriers go away if you skip the first one with that little trick. That is one of the hardest tricks to learn in the book.
Yeah, and you made it look like awesome.
Yeah. So now here, if we get below 301, which is 3 of those pink blocks, and then 1 energy, it's an automatic fail. And Ketchup is the worst thing in the world. This is where I've had 2 of my last 3 potential PBs die. And those
Now,
are
why do
onion
they-
rings
Why do they call it ketchup?
because it looks like ketchup. And then you got those onion rings.
Those are onion rings right there.
Yep, the little blue things.
And what's ketchup? Show me when ketchup comes in.
Oh, you'll see it.
We called them Cheerios.
Right there, that's the ketchup.
That
Now
looks
get me
like
the ketchup this time, motherfucker. And that's I mean that all it is winding it up now.
Did you make up the name ketchup?
Nope, that's been around for forever. Ketchup's a universal term. Like most of my split names I made up, but yeah, ketchup's been universal for Super Metroid for forever.
I like how they made Mother Brain look like a turkey, like without feathers.
Well, this is a departure because one of the things is, well, in the regular Metroid, it was just the brain, and when you killed it right before, you were supposed to think, oh, it's over, and then this happens.
Yeah, which is awesome. Like back in the day, this was epic. So I remember this is the part where you'd pause it, wipe the sweat off your hands, and then get some encouragement from your friends.
Back in the
before
day,
you
I
get
still
back
got
in.
sweat in my hands on my back from running.
Oh, still?
Every day, every time from running
Oh,
this
man.
game. Every time I stream.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, we didn't finish a real run, but I mean, we made it through all the points here. Drunk percent's always fun though. I don't know, Chris, not Chris, Matt, if you've ever actually been on for one of those, but they get pretty crazy.
No. I bet they do.
You're missing out, dude.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I don't know of any other communities that are that any speedrunning communities that have the drunk percent. Nobody wants to get on it. It's not that hard. It's only 3 shots.
I'll give it a shot.
Alright, so this is the final. You got the rainbow beam. Got Matt scribbling away over there.
Yep.
You sure you're gonna be able to read that tomorrow?
I hope so.
Oh, Matt,
Yeah,
what was so? Who's that cup for? Is that just for you?
This cup? Oh, or the Infinity War Cup.
The Infinity War cup that
Oh, the spoiler cup?
the spoiler cup, yeah.
That was for everybody. I know you probably can't read it no more.
Then DPG, why don't you compete?
We get to begin with it.
So
I have all the spoilers.
it says if you can read it, there you go. And then here we go. The reveal. I'm just gonna not do that though. I don't want people to come back next week.
Yeah. It ruined Infinity War.
We can't have this.
I gotta go see it again though.
I have to see it again like 14 more times.
No, because we don't need you at the hospital. Unless
just-
it's getting better. Unless it's like, you know, you're feeling better.
So everything's blowing up
Yep.
now, and this is probably the
Yeah, this is the last little bit here where we just go through and try and not ruin everything.
Oh, that spin. I remember that jump.
Oh yeah, and I remember when I was a kid, I got stuck in the pit with the animals for hours trying to get out of that thing. Now it's like, oh, well that's easy.
Yeah.
It's not whether I can do it, it's how fast can I achieve it now.
Right.
But I've played Super Metroid a decent bit. I've probably beaten it before I started speedrunning it. I probably beat it, I don't know, 15 times throughout the course, just like downloading an emulator on my phone, running it on there, picking it up on the Wii shop, like, so that's kind of one of the big things that influenced me to want to do it. So, oh, I didn't save the animals. They're upset. So that's one of the big Games Done Quick things is save the animals as a donation incentive.
Oh.
Because you don't normally see them because it costs a ton of time.
Right.
So that's the run, more or less. I mean, we kind of
That's awesome.
cut through pieces of it.
So what was the total time on that then?
I have no idea because we had to cut the time because we died.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess, based on my performance, probably somewhere around a 57-ish. Which isn't great, but it's alright.
Better than any one of us could probably do.
Yeah,
Way better,
I
yeah.
had 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Dude, thanks for coming on and showing us how it's done.
Or how not to do it in this instance.
Yeah, that's super impressive.
No, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was cool. It was fun. It was actually cool
What
to
was
see.
your guys' favorite part of it? What do you think?
When we could see it. That was
Yeah,
our favorite.
that was a good part.
We actually caught the end, which is good. We put it up on. We got it up on.
Baby Skip, which you may have seen, is one of the most difficult and most impressive parts of the run. It's really hard. Like, I got it twice in a row, but you can actually get it wrong in just the right way that you destroy your run. Because if you get caught by the baby right as you're going through that door, you then go, like, quarter speed for the rest of the run.
nice.
Like, it glitches out the movement.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Meta. Do you think that you know, like, every way to do the run now? I mean, you have your way, right? And there's more than one way.
Oh no, there's lots of different categories, like subcategories. But I don't know the new route, which is actually a couple minutes faster, I think. But it has some really crazy difficult strats in it, particularly the moat. That's what I really don't want to deal with. That makes it a lot more difficult. So I don't know that route yet.
So so you don't care to do that. Like you're cool with what you have, the way you do it.
Yeah,
'cause
until at least I get sub 50.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, and then you'll see if you can up the difficulty by doing the harder
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, it's just that one trick that really I don't want to learn, the moat crossing.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I think it's. I'm just gonna say that it's impressive to me, for the dedication to do that. I absolutely appreciate dedication to speed running. Watching it is cool because I said, like, for myself, like even if it's a game that I love, like I very rarely, there's like a 0.5% chance that I go back to play a game that I've already beaten. You know what I mean? So it's like just the dedication to and to play a game in a different way than it was necessarily meant to be played.
Yeah.
Nobody, they didn't make Super Metroid being like, oh, let's see how many people can speedrun this thing. That wasn't even a thing, you know what I mean? Maybe in the development team, because I know they do that sometimes, right? But, it's just cool. It's an interesting way to
It
play.
is. And some of the tricks that you gotta learn, that a lot of the stuff, like, it doesn't even look that impressive. Like, doing what I just did, the X Factor on Fantoon, just kind of looks like it happens, but the amount of timing that goes into it is pretty crazy. Like, it's real easy to miss this. Like, I just got it twice in a row, but that's real easy to miss.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. All right, so I want to play a game here, but I think that Meta, I think you have too much knowledge to play. So it won't be
That's
as
not
fun.
right.
So Chris Quarters, and then Chris and Ken. This is a game for you guys. I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna keep track of score. So you just shout out the answer, and whoever gets the answer right gets the point. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right.
You guys ready? And
Wait,
Meta?
should we buzz in?
Nah, just yell it. Just yell it. Okay.
Out.
All right. So here we go. First question. What is the full name of the main character of Metroid?
Summer Siren.
Is that you, Ken?
That was me.
Good job. All right. Name one of the main bosses.
Ridley.
Mother Brain.
Gosh, he's just crushing it. All right. Who is Metroid?
My audio.
Metroid's a creature.
It's a xenomorph.
What was the question?
It's the little.
Chris is like, what's the question?
They suck the energy out of you.
You know, it's funny that you say that because there is a tie-in to this game with the movie Aliens. Because Ridley, they say Ridley kind of was designed based off the xenomorph from Alien, and his name is Ridley because Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott, right?
Now this is a true story. It's not fake news. This is real.
Hold on, let me check. Hold on.
All right, you go ahead and check.
Fact check everything Matt says. Hold on.
Fact checker.
All right, for anybody who paid attention, ready? What is the first item acquired?
The ball, the
Morph ball.
freaking morph ball.
Morph ball. You know what? I'm giving
They
it
call
to
the
Chris.
Maru.
Nope. You can't just mumble and then
It
get
said
the point.
morph ball when you
No,
get
in
it.
the original game, it's called like a. It's called
He
like
said here.
whatever. I know it is the original game.
It's just called Morph Ball, I believe.
In the original Metroid, it's called like Maru or something like that.
Okay.
No, that's how I know it. That's how I know it as.
I got a point, Ken.
he just makes like names up.
Look it up. Look it up.
No, I believe him. I'm just saying. I got in there before he could get it out. He went
Maru Mari. It's Maru Mari.
Well, that's like might be the Japanese version, but not this one.
No, in the NES.
This is
That's
Murica.
Fact check it.
All right, so we got two people on the board. Come on, Quarters. All right, how many times did Meddadog save?
Once.
Never.
No.
Yeah, 0.
Boom, Chris Quarters, you're on. Oh wait, nope, just kidding. Ken said never.
Never,
All right, how many times when Matt plays does he save?
Every 5
Every
minutes.
5 seconds.
Yeah, probably every 5 seconds, but I'm gonna give it to Chris because he was a lone no point guy. All right,
I get
how
this.
many times in the speed run did you see Mario?
0.
That's right.
2 points.
Sure? Are you sure?
Yeah, you just said that's right. You can't go back now.
Okay, all right.
You're correct.
You said that's right. Wait,
Is that
you
your
sure?
final answer?
Which one of these is the name of an actual weapon in this game? Taser, phaser, or a spazer?
Phaser.
What'd you say?
Phaser.
What'd you say? What'd you say, other
Chris.
Chris?
Retro Chris said phaser.
That's
said
not easy questions.
What'd you say, Ken?
Phaser.
Spazer?
James
Spazer. Spazer is correct.
Oh, Ken's got. All right, so score
Yep.
check is Ken's got 3. I have 2, and Quarters you got 1.
No. Ken has 4.
Ken has 4.
Yeah.
So
Good
it's
try,
4
though.
to 1. Is that what we're doing?
It's trying to.
I'm keeping score because I'm honest.
Awesome, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what you
yeah.
tell him anyways.
All right.
Somebody's
Which-
slipping them pink 50s.
Which one of these is an attack from the game? And it's Chris Quarters' favorite attack. Is it the gravity bomb, screw attack, or the jump blast?
Jump blast.
Screw attack.
It is the screw attack. Yep, that's Chris Quarters' favorite move.
A screw blast.
All right,
Where is
that
it?
is it. Let's tally it up. Chris Quarters, you are the bottom With one, you got one.
Oh, the chat has a good point. When I did go through back to my save states, there was one Mario on screen. So technically, you saw him twice.
Oh.
Who said twice? All right, who said twice?
Nobody.
All right, well, I'll tell you what,
Nobody,
just to
everybody
make it
was wrong.
even, just to make it even, whoever said anything, I don't know. So everyone loses 1 point, just to even it out.
I didn't even say anything.
No,
on that
I'll
one.
take the hit. No one said.
No, everybody loses 1 point. So Chris Quarters, you didn't get a single point.
Oh no, that's not.
That was the whole thing he wanted to do. He just wanted.
Yeah, I can
Come
You
on.
just wanted to
Next
come away with
episode,
1
we'll be
point,
like,
man.
Hey,
Yelled at-
hey, what's the matter with you? New York, I'm from New York. Where's that jacket at, Chris?
You're in Toledo.
Hey, the east side, man. What are you talking about?
Don't be ashamed of your heritage.
I'm from New York, man. Yeah, I'm playing Super Metroid.
From home of LeBron, that's where you're from.
Retro Chris, you had 1 point. You had 2, but we knocked you, so you got 1.
No way, I know.
And then the winner is Ken. You got 4 points, and the prize is nothing.
Oh,
Thank you.
good job.
Oh, excellent.
There you go.
Good job. You just get like
The prize is pride. Pride in your knowledge.
pride. Yes.
You can walk a little
Pride,
taller.
something in
Yeah.
short
That's all
supply.
he cares about, whether he beats me or not. Yeah.
When we edit it later, I'll put like a little like token or ward in your corner, so that put your hands up and make it look like you're holding a belt, and I'll add that in.
Just like this.
Yeah. No, like holding it. Yeah. There you go. So I'm gonna put that in later. Right now, there's a belt.
Maybe like this.
There you go.
And then can I slap it out of his hands that way?
You know,
Yeah.
whole-
I'd make it hokey where it starts spinning away into the side of the screen with with the slide whistle.
Star wipe, Matt.
Yep, awesome, guys. This was, I think, a really good show. You know, we got to see a speed run. We got to have a special guest on.
Yep.
I didn't have to play this time, which is awesome.
Probably for the best.
Yep.
Although his Mega Man 2 run wasn't bad. I was impressed with that.
I couldn't do it either.
Yeah,
Yes.
I couldn't do it either.
So,
We're open too, Ken. So it's like
Yeah.
you know,
I
guys-
have
good.
yeah.
I have a confession to make.
Oh, do you now?
Yes, I do have a confession to make. There was no grapple hook backstory. That's fake news.
Called it. Called it.
They didn't grab each other's ass with the claw hook.
Well, they could have.
Well, I mean, you don't know that for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know that.
You don't
Right,
know
we
that
don't
for
know
sure.
that.
Don't.
No.
But that's fake news.
Fake news. Bang, 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 bang. That's it. You got to put it up on the screen.
Yep.
I know. It's really annoying. That's why I did it. I love that stupid sound. It's so dumb. I just love hearing it. It's so dumb.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, fake news.
Fake news.
Anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Meta, good to meet you. It was a pretty sick run, man. I want to see when you're warmed up and when I can actually see half the
Oh, yeah.
run.
Yeah, so yeah, no, definitely come check me out tonight. I mean, I stream Metroid. It varies. The schedule's always posted up in Discord, but I stream Monday through Friday. So
Yeah, I'll have to sub you with my Twitch, and we'll have to check you out, and you know, maybe get him, we'll get him on our show.
dude, I'd be cool. I'd be down for that. Let me know when. As long
Yeah,
as it's
you should.
as long as it's after 6 during the week. I'm
That's
usually
perfect.
pretty free.
That's perfect. We usually you can catch our show on Monday nights on Twitch, so you know that works out fine for us. Usually
Next week, you guys are running, aren't you? Retro.
Yep. So next week he's playing Bionic Commando.
I'm playing Bionic. Is that the only one I'm playing? You're gonna make me run that the whole time?
You said you can beat it.
I'm just saying, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you
I
can.
can
Congress-
smash that game.
Can you beat it within an hour?
Give me 15 minutes, I'll beat it.
Is that really what it is? 15 minutes?
Yeah, but you see, at some point he stopped talking about beating games, and now he's talking about something else.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh wait. No. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna give it the old college try. You know, I'm gonna do my best, and I'm not. And you know what?
He's not getting
And
hit.
that still sounds like the same thing.
I'm
Yeah,
not-
it's an old college try. I'm gonna give her my best.
The old college try.
I'm not gonna practice. Ken doesn't want me
So
to practice.
like college.
Right. Yeah.
He hasn't touched it since 1988.
Yeah. I'm not gonna practice it. We're gonna go. If listen, if Meta can come in cold, I'm going in cold.
He's going in
I came
30
in
years.
dry too, and I left wet. So
35 years. No, I wouldn't say 35 years. I probably.
How long is it good?
Maybe.
That's
10 years
what?
since I
It's like riding a bike.
emulated. Yeah.
yeah, just make sure you use protection.
And you know when I get hit that
It is
first time,
it's
I'm
30
really-
years. Right?
30 years.
Yeah, protect yourself with the Konami code or whatever the equivalent is for that
Yeah.
game.
It's nothing.
There's
I don't
nothing.
think there's
There's
anything.
nothing.
There's nothing.
There's the game genie.
He's
Yeah,
going in.
need a
He's
Game
going
Genie. I
in.
had one of those for the Super Nintendo.
Anyone know where I can get a Game Genie for emulation?
Actually, most emulators have that built in. So
I know.
Oh,
just
sweet.
saying.
He's going in commando.
I'm gonna go in Commando. Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. That'll be cool.
Awesome.
Guys,
Yep.
You haven't really. Yeah, you haven't really had anyone that you could really make fun of. So I guess yeah, someone's got to be the
This
first,
is gonna
right?
be good. Yeah.
Someone's got to be the first, you know. So
They're not on.
so that'll be good. Yeah. So that's next week. Yeah. Final Commando NES.
All right.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming on, guys. Appreciate having everybody. Meddadog, thanks a lot. You want to tell people where to find you?
Yes, you can get me at twitch.tv/Meddadog1. Spelling's up there in the top right corner if you look by my logo. I'll make that real big here. Boom.
Right.
We can just cover Matt's face. Nobody needs that right now. But yeah, drop me a follow, cause I mean, hey, I like to see people around. That's why I'm doing this. I don't really care about most of the things people care about. Follow count, or money, or anything. I mean, I've actually probably spent 7 or 8 times as much in terms of stuff I bought for the stream than I've actually ever made in this. So it's worth it. I just love hanging out with people. So come check me out sometime.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it was fun having you on. It was great watching you. I'll give it a shot. I'll tell you what. That's what I'll do this week. Is I'll record me playing, and you can see how pathetically I play.
Hey, I've done teaching streams before. If you ever want to actually learn, I'd be more than up to teach you. There's only like 3 or 4 tricks that are mandatory to complete a run.
The wall climb.
Wall climb, I mean, that's not really a trick. I count that as a basic mechanic. Mock ball to get to the early supers. You have to be able to do Zeb skip, which is at the end. You have to be able to short charge to get across the moat and to kill Dragon. Well, I mean, you don't have to do it for Dragon, but it makes it 100 times easier. And I think that might be the only mandatory tricks out of all that. Short charge, mock ball, and Zeb skip. So there's not many tricks you have to learn to get through the game. In the old route.
There you go, Chris. Get studying.
Yeah, that's just it. Let me try playing the game, see how I fare, and then we can all laugh at me later.
All right, sounds good.
And then I'll reach out to you, Corey, for your or Meddadog for your coaching.
No,
Sounds good.
you said his real name.
That happens all
You
the time.
gave away
I've said
his
it so many
identity.
times.
Great.
People are gonna swarm his house
Not
now.
a man without the mask.
No, he's got family. What are you doing?
You know,
Oh
if
my.
you wouldn't have drawn attention to it, it would have slipped right under.
Ah. I say it all the time. It's that last name you gotta worry about.
Right.
Plus,
Oh,
it's,
well,
plus, I mean, there are
uh,
people that know
Med-
that too, because for the last invitational that I ran, the top prize was a Raspberry Pi loaded up with RetroPie. And I had
that's
to ship
awesome,
that out
yeah.
to the winner. So
Nice.
Sweet.
this one's the winner's getting a Logitech C920.
Oh, nice. Cool. That's a good one.
Very cool.
Awesome. All right,
Right.
guys.
Alright,
Something
sign
retro
off,
squad.
Captain America
Oh,
over
yeah.
there.
I didn't say if you want to retro squat, guys.
Oh,
if you want
yeah.
to get to us, you can catch us on Twitch also Monday
Oh,
nights. What? No, it's fine. I'm telling everyone anyway. Retro Squat, you can go to twitch.tv/retro squat, or you go to retrosquat.com. We do a show. Also, it's a cool retro show. Go check that out. And yeah, that's it. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. Gotta get it
Alright.
in there.
I put it in chat as well for you.
Sweet. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Alright.
Well, it was definitely good meeting you and good watching you run, man.
Thanks so much. It was fun. Had a good
Impressive.
time.
Awesome.
All right. Have a
Thanks,
great
man.
day, everyone. Signing
All
off.
right, guys.
Take care. Thanks for having us again.
No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness.